Now, your body may be still, but as you dream, your eyes can flicker manically. The rapid eye movement stage of sleep is when we have our most vivid dreams. But do our flickering eyes actually see anything at all? Well, for the first time, scientists have actually recorded what is happening in individual brain cells during the dreaming phase of sleep, and what they found, well, that is absolutely fascinating. Well, BBC Science reporter Jonathan Webb is here. And tell me, what have these researchers actually found?
Well, it was a very valuable opportunity to be able to go actually inside the brains of sleeping and dreaming people. These were patients who have intractable epilepsy, and so electrodes are actually put inside their brain to monitor their seizures, and they volunteer to take part in neuroscience studies while that's happening, because it's a very, very valuable opportunity to actually look inside the brain. So these scientists took advantage of that, and they recorded from various areas of the brain throughout the night in 19 different people. And they found a very fascinating kind of flurry of activity that accompanied each of those sort of rapid flickering movements that come in that dreaming phase of sleep.
And to put it in simple terms, they're suggesting it's almost like a slideshow. Every time there's a new picture, that is where you're seeing the rapid eye movement.
That's what they presume is happening, yeah, exactly, because when the same people are awake, exactly that same kind of flurry of activity happens when they're presented with an image and then when they're presented with another one. It's not as if the rapid eye movements are actually scanning the scene. It seems that actually it's to do with a sort of change of thought process and the arrival of something new, because those images that trigger the same process, trigger the same kind of activity, they work better if it's pictures of things they recognise or things that mean something to the person. So it's probably much like what's going on when they're dreaming and changing scenes.
So that's interesting. Your brain is doing a similar thing both when it's awake and when it's asleep.
The more we study this REM phase, this rapid eye movement phase of sleep, the more we discover that the details of the way the brain's working are surprisingly similar, actually, to wakefulness, to what we do when we're awake. And it's a very light phase of sleep, as people may be aware, and it seems that it's you know, at the detailed kind of circuitry level, surprisingly similar to wakefulness.
And it's interesting because these researchers also extrapolated some of what they've found to suggest why even with blind people a similar sort of thing is actually happening, and that almost runs counter to what you would actually think.
Yeah, that's right. It's been a real puzzle for quite a while that unborn babies and people who were born blind, so they've never seen anything, they also show these rapid eye movements when they're dreaming. And so the neuroscientists think this might be an explanation for that, because if the rapid eye movements indicate a kind of a scene change, a refreshing of the slate, if you will, that same thing will be happening in the dreams of someone, even if there's no visual imagery there, because they'll still be moving from one subject to another.
So, in a sense, even if it's a voice change, that would signal the same thing. So you would see the same change being fired off in the brain, the same rapid eye movement that follows. That all fits the same pattern.
You still need to clear the slate. You still need to sort of refresh the mind's eye, even if there's no actual mental imagery there, in the same as there might be for someone who has vision during the day.
It's interesting because we've always thought that in our dreams, or when we're dreaming, that's the REM phase of our sleep. But have they even worked out why do we have REM sleep? Do they have any answer to that pretty basic question?
The short answer is no, yeah. We know some things about the other phases of sleep, the much deeper phases of sleep. There's lots of ideas about memory consolidation and various important things that phase of sleep is doing. REM sleep is a bit more of a mystery. We know there are some consequences if you interrupt or remove someone's REM phase of sleep, but the actual function is a little bit more of a mystery compared to the deeper phase of sleep.
Well, it is a mystery, but a little more of it uncovered as a result of this research. Jonathan Webb, fascinating talking to you. Thanks very much for that. Thank you.